everyone, welcome back to Abhyaas Law Prep. This is Priya, your legal faculty, and we have today CLAT PG 2026 AIR 41 P Gayathri with us. Hi Gayathri, tell us about yourself and your CLAT PG journey.
Hello everyone, my name is Gayathri. I've done my BA LLB from Osmania University, Hyderabad, and now currently I'm pursuing my LLM from NALSAR, Hyderabad.
So can you say how did you feel when you got to know about that you got AIR 41 in CLAT PG 2026?
Actually, I viewed the result, like me and my mom, we viewed the result together, and I honestly did not expect a rank below 100, considering the cutoff and my score at that time. So I was actually really happy that I got a rank below 50. So both of us, we were just very happy.
Why did you choose to prepare for CLAT PG?
So when I was in my final year, I decided that after my UG, I also want to do a PG. So I thought CLAT PG is a very good opportunity for me to pursue my LLM from an NLU. And I also always wanted to study in NALSAR particularly. So I thought this would be a great opportunity and it would also give me better exposure. So that is why I went for CLAT PG.
Are you also preparing for Judiciary or PSU?
No, currently I gave this exam only for an LLM degree. I'm not thinking about PSU opportunities or Judiciary as of now, but I'm open to exploring options later on.
Gayathri, when did you start preparing seriously for CLAT PG?
Ma'am, so I would say 2 months before the exam, during October, the last week of September, that is when I actually started preparing very seriously for the exam. Till then, I had in mind that I wanted to give the exam, but I wasn't actively doing much about my preparation. But October, November, I gave my complete time to this exam and I started preparing for it, subject by subject.
So what was your daily routine, Gayathri, as you were in your 4th year, as you said?
Yeah.
So what was your daily routine?
In the morning, I would go to college. I would come back around in afternoon at 3 or sometimes 4 p.m. After that, I would just sit down and start studying whatever subjects I had for the day. I just made sure that in the 2 months time that I had, I divided my subjects wisely. I could not take up many subjects at once because the time was very less. So I allocated 3 to 4 days for few subjects and I started covering them one by one. I would study one subject per day and in between I would give mocks and then analyze mocks. So that's how it went, my daily routine.
Which subjects did you prioritize and why?
I prioritized subjects like Constitution, Jurisprudence, Public International Law, Family Laws and Environment Law. Because these subjects, if you have analyzed the previous year papers, you'll notice that these subjects are asked every single year. There are certain subjects which are not asked every year, but these subjects you'll find them in every year's paper. So I would put them in the major subjects category and I gave priority to the major subjects first.
So how did you prepare for recent judgments, landmark judgments and Supreme Court important judgments?
So I refer to websites such as Live Law, Bar and Bench, and also there's a really amazing website called Supreme Court Observer, wherein they list out landmark judgments, which are 3 judge or 5 judge, 7 judge, 9 judge bench judgments, and they give out everything about the judgment in detail. So you don't have to go through the actual text of the judgment, but you will still get 90% idea about what the judgment is talking about. So I mainly relied on Supreme Court Observer website. Apart from that, I used to go through Live Law and Bar and Bench, their weekly updates or monthly updates.
Gayathri, how many mocks did you give, generally in a week or a day?
I used to make sure that I gave at least 2 mocks in a week. But as the exam was nearing, I think in the last 1 week before the exam, I gave 3 mocks in a week. But that was the only time I gave 3 mocks in a week. Rest of the times it used to be 2 mocks in a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you analyze your mock performance?
So I just made an Excel sheet wherein I used to write down how many answers were correct, how many answers were wrong, what is the score that I'm getting, how many attempts I made, and I just calculated my overall accuracy. So, and whatever answers were wrong, I used to maintain a mock book wherein I used to write down all the answers that were wrong and the explanation for it, like why it was wrong, why the option I selected was wrong, and what is the correct option and what is the explanation for it. So that really helped me in the last 1 week before the exam. So because I had all of my mistakes in one place, like it was like a mistake book. So I could just refer to it to go through those concepts again.
Okay, so apart from error log and your mock analysis, were you having any specific strategy, that is your revision strategy, during last month?
Ma'am, I would say I did not particularly follow any strategy. I just went with whatever felt comfortable and convenient to me. Like I would cover, someday I would cover subjects, only subjects. Someday I would cover only judgments. So I did not strategically think about it that much. I just went ahead with whatever, like I was just going with the flow. Yeah.
Okay. So, were there any time you felt like, were there any days you felt like, let's give up?
Yes, certainly there were days when it felt a little too overwhelming, and since I was also a college student, I had to manage both going to the college, attending classes, as well as preparing for the exam. So I did feel burned out once or twice, but then I reminded myself of why I'm doing this. Why am I giving this examination? And it is because my ultimate goal is to get into an NLU. So then I felt that, okay, I can't give up at this stage. Now I've come this far. So I should just go for it. I should just keep pushing myself a little more.
Oh, so Gayathri, what's one mistake you made and you want to suggest future aspirants not to?
One advice I would give to future aspirants is that if you are very clear about cracking this examination, please don't wait any longer. Start your preparation right now. Like if you can start it today, that's great. Just start it right now. Do not procrastinate, and make sure that you have your goals clear in your mind, like whether it is to get into LLM or whether you want to give this examination for PSU jobs. Whatever your goal is, just make sure it's very clear, and then plan out how you would want to strategize over the next few months. How do you want to cover the syllabus? Because the syllabus is very vast. You have around 15 to 20 law subjects, and apart from that, you have to go through landmark judgments and recent judgments. So make sure that you give time to all of these properly, and also give mocks. So just don't procrastinate, just start preparing as early as you can. Early preparation will help you prevent stress and burnout towards the end of the exam, when the exam is getting closer.
What was your strategy during CLAT PG exam? And Gayathri, how did you manage time and difficult questions?
To answer your first question, the strategy I had in mind during the examination was that the exam is for 120 minutes and you have 120 questions, which means you get 1 minute for one question. So I just divided it into 2 slots, first 1 hour and the next 1 hour. By the first 1 hour, that is 60 minutes, I wanted to get done with 70 questions, so that in the next 1 hour I can focus on 50 questions. And it was almost like you aim for the moon so that you land in the stars. So I could not complete 70 questions in the first 60 minutes, but at least I was somewhere around between 60 to 70 questions. And to answer your second question about difficult questions, what I did is whenever I found some question that was difficult and it was taking more than like 1 or 2 minutes of my time, I did not waste my time on that question. I just moved on to the next question, because the exam is designed in such a way that you get stuck in some questions, but then you are supposed to move on, because there are some easier questions towards the latter half of the paper. And if you are stuck on one question, you would not get to those questions, and then you'll feel, after the exam's over, you might feel that, oh, this was so easy, why did I not attempt it? So I didn't want to regret that. So I just, whatever questions were difficult, I just left them for the end, and I just kept moving to the next question.
Gayathri, what advice would you give to someone who has started preparing today for CLAT PG 2027 exam, which is like 2 months or 3 months away?
I would suggest first, please analyze the previous year question papers. They are available for free on Google. Just download the past 3 to 4 years papers. Look at the paper, analyze the paper pattern, the kind of questions that they are asking, the kind of questions consortium expects from you, and note down the list of subjects that are firstly that are recurring, and secondly which are not recurring but then they are also important. So you can categorize them into major subjects and minor subjects. Major ones would be which are asked every year without fail, like constitution, criminal laws, your public international law, jurisprudence, etc. And then minor subjects would be those which are asked maybe once in 2 years or 3 years, or then in any subject which would become important if it is spoken about in a recent judgment. So I would say go through the syllabus which is given in the consortium website, analyze your previous year papers, and then plan out how you would cover the subjects. And simultaneously also please start reading Supreme Court judgments. And yeah, I think that's about it. These are the components of your exam.
So, what suggestion you would give to CLAT PG aspirants that they must do daily?
One suggestion I would give, which I think is very beneficial in the long run, is to read one judgment every day. It could be a Supreme Court judgment, it could be a High Court judgment, or some important judgment, something that you find interesting. Just you can open Live Law or Bar and Bench and you can go through the headlines and you can see if any judgment interests you. Please start reading judgments, because the exam itself is judgment based, so it'll help you in the long run. You won't have an entire pile of judgments sitting there. You can just read one judgment a day.